ladies, I don't ask men to take care of my wigs and my makeup and my lashes. I know most of y'all men can't afford it. Okay, let's just have the heart to heart conversation.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
She went off. She went off on men. She called them broken dusty. Let's go.
Child, listen, I have decided to do this video because I really did not realize how many unintelligent people are on the internet. This is a meme that someone created, and it's a snapshot from my Tamron Hall interview. And I am finally gonna break down my Tamron Hall interview because so many people are reporting on it, but they're reporting on it leaving out very important factual information. And
No, they are not. They are taking exactly the words that you said. You said most women want a small percentage of men who are rich. But you also said once a woman like yourself is already taking care of your bills, living this lifestyle, you're expecting the man to come in and pay for your lifestyle. Those were your words, Kendra.
instead, they're trying to create a narrative about me that simply just isn't true.
All right.
Okay, hey Tamron girl. Now, first of all, I was requested by Tamron Hall herself to do this show and this episode because Tamron Hall is a Chicago media girl. I am also a Chicago media girl. I have known her for years. Let's start there. Secondly, the topic of the show was to break down popular 2025 dating trends. Myself and another young lady were there to break down different meetings behind different dating trends and styles. In advance, Tamron Hall's producer sent me a list of different topics we would discuss. It was requested that I would be prepared to break down any trend that Tamron throws at us. Actually, Tamron even tells you this on the show, you goofies. If you was watching it, take a listen.
Okay, so my team found 2025's most talked about dating trends and catchphrases. These ladies are going to break it down. I gave you some of them at the beginning of the show, so don't feel badly if you've never heard of them, because I've never heard of them either. And I didn't look them up because I want to know how you define them.
Okay, for those who might still be confused, Tamron Hall just set the tone. She is going to throw different dating trends and styles at me and the other young lady, and we will break down the definition behind that style. The
Okay.
first one that Tamron Hall does is called future proofing, and she asked me directly, Kendra G, to break it down. Take a listen.
These ladies are going to break it down. I gave you some of them at the beginning of the show, so don't feel badly if you've never heard of them, because I've never heard of them either. And I didn't look them up because I want to know how you define them. Future proofing.
Yes.
Kendra.
Oh, you gotta have a job. You have to have an ambition that's gonna go somewhere for sure. I want to see W-2 forms. I want to see success records. I want to meet your mama. I want to know where you live. Is it in your name? Is it? I need to see the lease because sometimes
Kendra, I'm not good enough to
You see, now whether now Tamron is married, but whether she's being honest or she's being, just joking around, no man is going on a date with a woman who's going to ask him, let me see your W-2, let me see all these. Any man is just going to think she's a gold digger. Like, how about you just get to know me, just me as a person, my character, what I like to do, how I spend my time, my family, rather than jumping to ask me how much money I make. You want to see my bank statement. You know what I mean? So Tamron is being honest. Like, I'm not good at, because right now Tamron is speaking like a man, the way a man would react if a woman was asking for those things.
because we're talking about it from the female gaze to the male. I'm just talking in general. If I had gone on a date with someone and they started asking me about my W-2s and my bank account, they would have been seeing the gas come out of the pipes of my car.
Yeah.
Exactly. Very few men are going to, actually, most men may not leave the date right away, but they may never call the woman back. So when women go on these dates and they say, oh, men don't call us back, they ghost us, think about the questions you ask men on these dates. I get it. You don't want to date a bum. You don't want to date a guy who has no job. But there's a good way to ask those things, or at least on a second or third date. rather than acting like as if he doesn't have a very expensive job, a job that pays him so much, that he's not a good man.
Because that's too, I'm intimidated now.
Well, because women are tired of wasting their time. I'm talking from the woman's perspective.
Yeah.
So they're like, I don't want to make you be already made. I don't got clay. I'm not magic.
But guys don't want that either. They don't want to make us.
Well, true, but the thing with guys,
And they don't want a broke lady.
well, no, that's I don't know though. Some men,
Guys, listen, I just speaking because I heard you say it.
It's not that men don't want broke women. Men just don't want women who are with them just because of the money and for them to provide for their lifestyles. Most men want to be providers, but they just want to know, is a woman worthy of being provided for? Because some women will have a good job, but then she wants a man to come in for her to stop paying the bills. So she's going to continue working, saving her money, while the man uses his money to pay her bills and his bills. Guess what happens when they break up? She has been saving, but the man couldn't even save anymore because he's now paying bills for two people. So men are like, that's not a good deal. It's not that they don't like broke women. It's just the mindset women have.
I think men want a broke lady, but they also don't want a lady that's going to be too expensive. You know, wigs is $2,000, lashes is $300.
Okay,
you know, shoes is $1,000.
are you easing into high maintenance?
Yes, well, I think that, yeah, that's real high.
And
But-
you're owning, so 2025 people are owning the high maintenance?
Well, women feel like this is what I do for myself, so a man has to be able to do the same or more.
Why can't you keep doing it for yourself?
I agree.
That's a perfect question. If you have been paying all your bills up to this time before I met you, why should I come in and now you stop paying? It's not like you stop working. No, because women don't want to sit at home anymore. They still want to work. But now they are saying, I'm going to work, save my money, but since you're the man, come in, pay your bills and pay my bills too. But I'll still keep working and saving my money. But remember, a man now can't save money anymore because now he's paying bills for two people. So Tamron is asking very good questions from a man's point of view, which is fair.
With you, Tamron, but they're like, why? If you here, if a man is here, why am I?
But you're not here for my wigs.
But
Exactly.
they're feeling like this. Okay, I'm showing up for you. I'm giving you my energy. I am in your presence.
The man is giving you his energy too. He's in your presence. He's giving you his time. And now he's also paying your bills. How does the man benefit?
You should pay for this.
Why?
I'm not saying I don't like
Getting
but I'm with you, Tamron, because you got my own money.
Don't. We got some groans, we got some applause, we got some moans. Alana's coming back with us. I didn't know the Valentine's Day was gonna get this hot.
Okay, so this is the part of the interview that got the internet in a chokehold, child. So a couple things. First of all, I was explaining what future proofing is for the woman that walks that way. Okay, I was not talking from the Kendra G perspective. Listen,
No, Kendra, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And the reason I don't believe you, because a couple more minutes, you're going to be attacking men saying they're broke. Let's see.
brokies, I don't ask men to take care of my
Look.
wigs and my.
Replay.
I was not talking from the Kendra G perspective. Listen, brokies, I don't ask men to take care of my wigs and my makeup and my lashes. I know most of y'all men can't afford it. Okay, let's just have the heart-to-heart conversation. So
You see what I mean? So men were actually right. You were on the show with Tamron, you are actually talking about yourself. Because if you are not talking about yourself, you would not say men are broke is they can't afford you. So pretty much, even if you claim you are explaining what most women want these days, but you are also explaining what you want. You want a man to come and pay for your $2,000 wig and your $300 lashes. She just admitted by calling men broke and they can't afford her.
So no, I am very proud to say that I am a woman that can take care of herself proudly and has always, and I am happy that I can do so. If you watch this interview, you know I'm not talking from the first person category. I say they.
But you just admitted and attacked men that they're broke and they can't afford you because they were criticizing you. So by definition, you are talking about yourself.
There's a moment when Tamron even says, why can't you continue to pay for your own wigs? I literally say, I agree with you, Tamara. Women feel like this is what I do for myself, so a man has to be able to do the same or more.
Why can't you keep doing it for yourself?
I agree with you, Tamara, but they're like, why? If you here, but I want you, Tamara, because you have my own money.
Don't.
So are we clear, people? Kendra G was not talking about herself
Yes,
in
you
this
was.
moment.
Yes,
I
you
want to break
was.
down further the moment when Tamara Hall said, well, a man doesn't want a broke woman either. So they're like, I don't want to make you be already made. I don't got clay. I'm not magic.
But guys don't want that either. They don't want to make us.
Well, true, but the thing with guys...
And they don't want a broke lady.
Well, no, I don't know, though. Some men... See, I had to take a pause because that actually isn't all the way true. There are some men who truly desire a woman who does not make that much money because if she doesn't, they can control her.
That's not true. It's because when women make so much money, especially when they make more money than the man, they usually throw it in the man's face. Oh, I make so much money. You can't tell me nothing. Oh, I can pay for myself. The same things Kendra said a few minutes ago. Oh, you're so broke, you can't afford me. Oh, you're broke and dusty. You see what I mean? When women make money like Kendra, what do? They attack the men. So men are like, you know what? I want to be able to pay for your things or to be a provider because you're worthy, because you appreciate it, not because you think it's my use or the only reason I'm in your life is to pay for your bills. Men don't want to feel used. That's why it's not that men don't want broke women. It's the mindset. It's the fact that when women like Kendra make money, what's the first thing they do when they get criticized? They attack the man. What do they usually say? You are broke and dusty. It goes back to the money. So it's not that men want women who don't make money to control them. They just know that's one thing women won't use to manipulate men.
Men who have literally said, I want to date women who are in poverty-stricken situations because I can control her. She can afford to leave me.
I've never heard of that.
She can afford to talk back to me.
For that, I know, guys, I'm posing it, but the part of I want to control her, she won't leave me. If men have said that, what they simply mean, like I said, when a woman, these days all women want to work. Okay, that's one. Number two, if a woman is working and she's not paying bills, she's saving her money, guess what? There is more likelihood for her to leave because she has her money saved, because the man, all the money he makes, is spending it on himself and her bills. But she's still working, saving her money. So guess what? She's most likely to leave. That's why men say, I don't want her to leave, because they know even if it was me and Oprah was paying for all my bills and now I still work and save my money, guess what? Anytime Oprah says something I don't like, I will leave because I got my bank full of my money, all my money, because I wasn't paying any bills.
These are things that men have said out of their own mouth. If you don't believe me, take a listen for yourself.
Curious to know this. You keep mentioning women in poverty. Why? Like, what's your...
Well, I'm older now. I'm not as young as I used to be. So, women in poverty, I can control them better. A girl who can't afford to say, fuck you, Corey, I'm gone. She just can't afford to do it. So, I take advantage of that. Now, that might be wrong, but her poverty and my needs, most of the time, it even out. I don't really need a lot of their time.
True.
And they don't tell me to fuck off because they know when I come over, their children can get some...
Hold up. God damn.
Some outlet.
Which I get, and you guys have to realize she's using Corey Holcomb as an example because he's a comedian. Comedians say whatever they want to say. So you have to think about that before you try to criticize him. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, what he's simply saying is what Kendra just demonstrated. When a woman makes money, the first thing she's going to say is attack and, insult a man. You're broke and dusty. You can't afford me. So Corey is simply saying, when a woman, he's saying he's using poverty, but we all know he's just saying a woman who doesn't make as much money as I do, and she has to rely on me for bills. That's what he's simply saying. Obviously, he's using poverty because he's a comedian, he needs the punchlines and shit like that, right? But he's simply saying, if I'm paying her bills and she doesn't have the money to just run away anytime something goes wrong, I can control her. Meaning, we even out, which are the words he used. Now, two words that are triggering people: poverty and controlling. How you understand that is one thing, but for me, from my opinion, he's simply saying if she's not paying bills or if she's not working and just saving her money, she's not, because most people these days just want to run out of relationships because they don't care about each other. It's the same thing as if a man and woman are in a relationship and they got no kids, there's more incentive to just end the relationship and run away. But if they have kids, they have a reason to stay together.
At Jordans, girls in poverty, because they have a deficiency. Poverty is a deficiency out here in America. I can fix your little deficiency if you do what I want you to do. I think it's an even exchange.
Ooh, the tea.
There is no tea. That's
Enough.
that's not groundbreaking news that Corey Holcomb just explained. He used triggering words like poverty and controlling because those things actually trigger women and some men. But it is what it is.
The other part of the Tamara Hall interview I want to break down is when I mentioned I had a roster. Ooh, this one really got y'all upset. Take a look.
Thousands and thousands of people call you.
Yes.
They want to be on the show.
Yes.
They want your advice, but you're single.
That's right, girl, and loving it. Now, you know, I was in a relationship last year, but this is my single season, and I love it. And single does not mean lonely. Single means nobody can't claim me.
Right.
And I got a roster. If you want to join the team, where the camera at, Cameron?
Those are your words, Kendra. So why are you saying people are putting words in your mouth? You said you have a roster. That means you have a bunch of men, whether you're dating, talking to, sleeping with, whatever it is, you said you have a roster. So that's how people took it. And that's fair game. It's the internet.
Hit me up on Instagram, Kendra G Media. We got space for one. We got space
Because I
for one.
love that thing, but just because you're not in a relationship doesn't mean you're not dating.
No.
And that can be your season where you're exploring yourself and what's on the landscape.
Oh, that clip got y'all so upset. Y'all got me out here as a hoe and everything.
I mean, you said
First
it.
of all, let me break down what a roster is. A roster means I'm dating. I'm not in a relationship. Not one man gets all of my time. Secondly, guess what? I'm not having sex with none of them. Sure not. I'm able to have amazing dates, actually, because there's amazing men that just want to be in my presence. And sex is not a requirement. And I encourage all women to date. If you are not in a relationship, date. You can have the time of your life. Life is amazing over here. But
But I honestly, obviously, she's a grown woman. She can do whatever she wants to do. But by you admitting you have a roster, people can take it how they want to take it. All right? And it's not like every person who has a roster doesn't actually sleep with those people. So people are not wrong for assuming that you're actually sleeping with those people. Because in most cases, people who have rosters, there are some people you like and you get connected with, or you have a good connection and you may, get intimate with them. So people are fair to assume that. Secondly, if you're advising women to have rosters, most women don't want men who have rosters because they call them fuck boys, playboys, they call them unserious. Guess what? If you're advising women to have multiple men they're talking to and dating or going on dates, even the men, because most times if a woman goes out with 5 guys, she knows the 2 or even maybe the one she really likes, but the guy she may not like may be the one who has all the money and takes her out on expensive dates. So she may keep him around for that reason. Guess what is going to happen? If guys are out here with rosters and women are out here with rosters talking to multiple people, 2 things are going to happen. One, more single mothers, more single fathers. Actually 4 things. 3 is people are not going to trust each other, meaning relationships are still going to go down and marriages are still going to go down, right? And then number 4, most people are just going to be heartbroken. Do you know what it means to think someone is into you only to find out they're talking to 3 other different people? And if you already know who you're interested in, you don't need to talk to 5 people. That's what I'm saying. So her advice is not good for men and women, in my opinion.
I want to break this down before I go. Here's why you men are goofies in real life. Because actually, on the Tamron Haw show, I was speaking for men in a lot of different dynamics. I was breaking down that sometimes women focus on the superficial things that don't matter, such as height, such as very expensive first dates, in order to find a real connection. If y'all didn't just have so much Kendra G hate in your soul, you would have caught all those moments.
You can't say you were speaking for men when you're advising women to juggle different men. That doesn't benefit men. If a man is putting all his energy, effort, and time and money into this woman he likes, only to find out she is doing the same thing with him, she's doing with other 5 guys, how does that benefit the man? It doesn't. So eventually, that good guy who's investing in that woman, guess what is going to happen when he finds out? He's going to become the bad boy, the fuck boy that women complain about, that doesn't want relationships and commitment and things like that. So at the same time, the cycle repeats itself. So you may think you're advising men for men, but if you're advising women to date multiple guys, you are not doing anything for men at all.
If you didn't see it, watch it right now.
I got married at 48.
Ooh.
I ran into my husband multiple times. I thought he was trying to represent me because he was on TV. And one day I was in LA. I went out to the pool by myself. I'd had a pity party about something else. I walked to the pool and he walked over to me and asked me out for pizza. Wow. And I was like, he's a lot shorter than me. That's okay.
Oh, girl, I get that.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Pizza with him.
And I went for pizza, and we moved in like 3 weeks later.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You know what?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. The only reason she was able to get married at 48 with a guy who's shorter than her and a guy who asked out for pizza is because she was 48. Do you know how many good guys who were shorter than her and were asking her out for pizza when she was 25, 26, 27, 28, and she didn't give them a time of day? That's my opinion. That's what I see. That at that age, she's like, you know what? I was being superficial. I was being too picky, high standard. So for now, since I'm 48, I'll just take what I can get. Because maybe the rich guys and the tall guys, the NBA players that she wanted, were not calling her back anymore.
But you were willing to date a man shorter than you, potentially.
Yeah.
A lot of women have height requirements. They're like, I don't want to settle. Well, right now, your man's invisible. Okay?
Right, right.
5'9" is better than invisible,
and Kendra, for me, I make the joke about him being shorter than me. What it was, though, and you went with defining. I was not defining myself as single.
Right.
I was not. I had lost my job. I had a lot of things that were tumult in my life at that time. And I told Stephen one day, I said, I don't know if I was still working if I would have seen you. Not having my work as my title, I saw that man.
Right.
And
That's very key. You see what I mean? She was in a state where she was very humble and she could see the man. That's what I said. But she just admitted that if she was working and she still had that big title, when I think she was working at NBC or some big media company, I don't remember, she wouldn't have noticed him. And that's what men say every day, that when women have these high positions, big positions, they don't see the janitor. They don't see the guy at the front desk. They don't see the delivery guy. Those guys are invisible. They only see the CEOs and all the guys with the money, but the normal average guy, they don't see you. But she just admitted that the only reason she noticed him was because she had just lost her job and she was kind of back to earth, right? Her ego was kind of a little bit down. She's admitting in real time. I mean, shout out to her.
he saw me.
Right.
And then he clearly saw a baby, too, because then we know what Moses is history.
The guys that I've dated in the last year, the pattern that I've seen with them is that it's almost like they feel this need to have everything in their life built before they can let love in. Whereas women, more generally, we are so like nurturing and we can see us like building a life together, at least for me.
Where these women at? They don't call my Or
So
you
I've
gotta come right.
struggled.
Like the one that
Yeah.
caused my show, like I love that T-Rim was open to a pizza date. These girls like 5-star restaurant on day one before you get my first name. And that's the issue though, because
Yeah.
you see how
Yeah.
T-Rim, who richer than all of us, child, and very successful, was willing to go on a pizza date, and now she's married to the man of her dreams.
Yeah.
So we need more Tamrins to understand that, listen, you can be a boss woman, but the things that matter more, don't make it so high just to date.
Right.
For sure.
I mean, for that segment, I'll give Kendra some credit. You know, finally, she's saying the women who call into her show have all these crazy standards for men instead of knowing that, hey, being a boss woman, independent, this and that won't get you the man you want or the man that is good for you. It may get you the man you want for that moment, but he may not be the long-term man for you down the road who you really need. So shout out to Kendra for that. You know, so shout out. I hope all the women who call into our show actually watch this segment.